So with that, let's head over to Natalie and Jim in the First Warning Weather Center to see how bad this storm is right now. Is it getting worse? Is it getting better?
Well, it is getting better here in the Austin area, but we just have an update now from Bastrop County. We talked earlier about Cedar Creek. That neighborhood flooded, water in homes, and now it looks like STARFlight are doing some water rescues in that area too. So it just keeps more and more information coming as people are getting up and getting out on their day so far.
And this was as of 3 minutes ago.
Right.
This report came in. STARFlight doing water rescues right now in the Cedar Creek area. If you were with us in our last segment, we talked about the serious life-threatening danger this morning in that area of western Bastrop County where 6 to 7 inches of rain has fallen overnight, and there have been for the last several hours and now continue to be apparently water rescues as resulting from the runoff of that heavy rain. Now you're looking at the radar now and you can see that the heavy rain has moved east of that area. It is in eastern Lee County. You folks are still under a severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, east of Lexington and east of Giddings. You folks in Fayette County are really getting socked with some strong thunderstorms that may be borderline severe at the present time. But while the rain has become lighter back here in Bastrop County, you folks back in that area are seeing the runoff now from the heavy rain of 6 to 7 inches that has fallen overnight since while most people were sleeping. And people are waking up this morning and saying, what in the world is going on? It was dry when I went to bed this morning. There are, in some cases, water coming into people's homes in this area because we've now seen close to 7 inches of rain near Cedar Creek. STARFlight is in the air right now doing water rescues in the Cedar Creek area as a result. But it is not just Cedar Creek. We're still a ways from sunrise this morning, and I want to emphasize again and stress the serious nature of this for you folks that live, again, not just in the Cedar Creek area. We want you folks around Cedar Creek, especially in rural areas, to stay home until this water can recede. But any of you folks that live in these areas in the darker green from east of Mopac on down to western Caldwell County, up to the middle of Bastrop County, to Lee County, to Milam County. This entire area, we believe, has received, or most of this area, between 3 to as much as 7 inches of rain we know now. And so these dark country roads back in here are going to be very dangerous this morning because in areas where the water has run off rapidly, there may be water flowing over the roadway that maybe only is a couple of feet deep, but a couple of feet will float almost any car out there, and you can literally be swept away. And we're very concerned that that might have happened this morning in some areas. So again, let me zoom in real close in these areas. If you live around here, any of these little communities that are shaded in the darker green, you are in potentially a life-threatening situation this morning with flooded low water crossings. It is very dangerous for you to be in your automobile and cross a roadway where there is water flowing across the road. Turn around, don't drown.
And don't let the light rain trick you into thinking that you're out of the woods just yet. Now that runoff, as Jim was mentioning, rolling into the area creeks and rivers, those could continue to rise or at least stay out of their banks for the next couple of hours. So we're not quite done with this just yet. And especially, as Jim was mentioning, those county roads, the smaller roadways, those are the ones going to be most affected that maybe don't have the arms that come down or the signage or the flashing lights with some of those low water crossings. So just take extra care. Some of the creeks, if you live near these, you know these flood or at least the waters rise along them when we get rain like this. Barton Creek, Bull Creek, Shoal Creek, Waller Creek, Walnut Creek, Williamson Creek, all expected to be out of their banks for the next hour or so. So just give yourself a little lead time, wait till the sun comes up if you have to leave this morning, and stay home if you can, at least until this water starts to recede.
Yeah, some folks waking up this morning, Natalie, may not even be aware that even right in Austin, as late as a couple of hours ago, we had somebody rescued at that typical Shoal Creek flooding spot around 10th to 12th and Lamar.
That's right. There, and then William Cannon looking at water over the roadways there, and that's not a normal low water crossing in the Austin area. Of course, if you live near one of the normal low water crossings, you know that this is a very dangerous situation. Start thinking of those alternate routes if you have to be out and about.
And again, extremely strong thunderstorms continue to move through Fayette County. The overall picture here this morning, though, is a positive one in terms of what's going on with the rain in the flooded areas. We are seeing the heaviest activity shift now east to areas that it hasn't been raining this morning, so you can absorb some rain. These areas back here that can't take any more right now, the rain has become light, and as you can see, there is a back edge to the rain where it's completely ending. And that back edge of the rainfall is making some progress to the northeast, although this activity down here is moving north, so you're going to get more rainfall in Cedar Creek and in Bastrop County over the next 1 to 2 hours.
I have an update, too, for Caldwell County here. Plum Creek, anybody who lives near that area, a river flood warning for you now. That creek is at flood stage 14 feet, or it's actually at 18 feet. Flood stage is at 14 feet, 4 feet above flood stage right now. Expected to hit 20 feet later on this morning, so if you live in that area, take care.
Okay, that was Plum Creek down in Caldwell County. You folks now under a flood warning. As Natalie reported to you a little earlier, a river flood warning is also in effect for Onion Creek at 183 in southeast Austin. That was going to be a little bit above flood stage, hopefully not to the point that it's going to get out of the banks and get into anybody's homes. But folks around Onion Creek, any low water crossings there in southeast Travis County, you need to be aware too that you are going to experience some flooding, at least in your neighborhoods, in those low water crossings over Onion Creek. Another look at the radar there with the strong thunderstorms moving up through Fayette County right now and up into Lee County. This is about to become a situation where we're no longer worried about the thunderstorms and possible tornadoes. And you might be wondering what's going on with the tornado situation. Well, we've had damage in Travis County this morning. We don't know that it was a tornado, but we were showing the radar this morning at 3 o'clock, Natalie and I, and noticed a very intense area of low-level rotation over eastern Travis County, and that is the area where some damage ended up being done at Springdale Road and US 290 East. Again, nobody saw a tornado. We won't know if it was a tornado until the National Weather Service goes in there and does a storm survey to see how the damage path is laid out. Is it all twisted or is it laid out flat? Was it straight line winds? We'll find out. We'll be able to tell you at some point. Right now, we don't know if it was a tornado in east or northeast Austin this morning. It may have just been straight line winds, but what we do know is that the tornado watch does continue for our eastern counties. The wind profile in the atmosphere is somewhat favorable for a few possible tornadoes. So you folks in Lee County and Lee County and Fayette County, you're about the only ones left that have that concern this morning. For the rest of us, it's the runoff and the flooding.